This is Jate. This haircut's an absolute classic, but updated with the tools and the lengths we leave. We undercut, we move weight. You see a lot of different things going on in this haircut, and it's something you can not only just do on a guy, but because of the versatility, it can suit a man or a woman. When Jate came into the studio, he just looked amazing. He was this kid that, looked right through you. He's doing it right there, and had this amazing hair. You know, his hair was kind of very typical. You know, straight, hard to control. He wasn't using many products, so you know the consultation was really about, well, if I give you stuff, will you use it? Because I want to give you a haircut that actually doesn't fall on your face all the time. And I had this idea of like cross between a Yakuza gangster and a sort of manga character, and that's where we're going to go with this, so hope you enjoy it. Okay, so just getting him suited up. Love every time I see that cape, it's fantastic. So using the one to wear it down, I do want to get it quite wet because his hair is super dry and it just absorbs the product so much. So we'd given him the Moon shampoo and conditioner just to help with the shine and stuff and a little bit of moisture. And he washed his hair before he came to the studio. It was kind of funny because we didn't have a basin at the studio, so back then we had to give the kids the products, the samples, and come with clean hair because we didn't want to stick them in the bath. Going through, really making sure I've got enough in there that I can get to work and not redampening the hair, which I don't mind, but not every 2 seconds, not every section. You'll see the one, and I've got that nozzle on there, and it was something, and I'd love you to do that as well when you get the products that you can switch them out because it's easier to use these. The pumps we use, for design and stuff, and to get the a lot of different reasons, but I always like to tell people to get nozzles, and there's loads in the market, but they're fantastic and make it more comfortable because we're using this stuff so much that sometimes you get finger cramps from using the traditional ones. If you're using just a couple of sprays of Dallas or something, then fair enough, but with one it's much better to get something that's easier to apply. So we might sell these, I don't know. I don't know where we are with that yet. Anyway, he's looking good already. I could walk away. The kid looks amazing, just with some products in his hair instead of that little Dutch bob that he had. And I'm using my special brush there. It's actually a beard brush, and I find it goes through the hair so well. And again, it's something we're going to be bringing to you later on as we get going. So where do we start with this? I have to, if he's going to look anything like manga or Yakuza, I need to get a sideburn. So that's the first part. Establish that, and keep it. I remember in the old days I'd try and leave sideburns, and because I was so technical, I'd end up cutting everything short, and kind of annoyed me that I couldn't control my hair cutting that well. But that was the good old days, and now we're in a point where I can use a razor and disconnect things without them having lines or any demarcation. So there's my section, quite heavy, it's quite deep, running. And if you've seen a lot of my films, my sections pretty much follow the shape of the hairline and what works with the head. So it's not like I make up new sections just to be cool. I use sections that work, and that's my go-to. So I'm just sort of looking at that over second section there, and that's where I'm going to start. And right in, taking the hair very short, it's about inch and a half long, and working all the way around that section, and I'll just drop it right over the top. Because of the movement of the blades, I'm getting that great sort of looseness on the ends and separation. Just going and damp this a little bit. I'm getting that great sort of, you know, weightlessness through the ends, but I've got weight on the middle and at the roots, so I can still control the hair. If I just razor through all of the length of the hair, it'd just be fly away wispy crap. So that's not what we want. And here we go, working into the back and just following the hairline. I want to keep the back quite square. I'm not going to do it short, but I do want to have a nice sort of feeling that the back tapers in to the neck a little bit, but still has an angle and a corner. So here we go. Dying to cut some of this length off, and that's what we're going to do right now, if I can get myself together. There we go. So working from the back, a little bit of an angle. Don't want it too pointy, you know, as a boy. So, but enough that it just works with his lines and his face. Now we're right above the ear, and I'm just taking that right out, right above the ear, because I just don't need that extra length. It's another disconnection. You see it right there. There's my shorter piece on top. Got that. Nice. I've got my length, and then that piece I just cut above the ear. So there's my corner. I can see that, and I need to bring that all the way. So that's my goal there, is to keep that corner. So what I'm going to have to do is distribute the weight to get the illusion of a corner, you know, because it's a little bit weak, but doesn't stop us from moving weight around with the razor or even the scissor. So moving forward, taking a section right above the ear, working forward to the front, and then coming in just round the back. Now I'm cutting into the hair to create my lens because I want all of that overhang. Nothing is connecting together yet, nothing at all. The only thing it's connecting is this haircut is starting to work for his face, and that's the most important connection you ever make. So again, I'm dropping hair over the top of my last section, but there's shorter pieces that do sort of blend in when you push it back. There's no demarcation, it's fluid, it's not bulky. That's what razor cutting is at its best. And you know, being the guy who reinvented the razor, I think I'll blow my trumpet a little bit here, because everybody says they're the king of the razor. 1987 in New York, I took the razor and reinvented it, and took it to another level, because you know, it was used mainly to thin hair before, and bringing it into more of a technical tool, that's what reinvented it. So here I took a section right on the curve of the head that I'm going to cut short, totally ignoring everything underneath of it, because I want to establish that area, because I'm going to push it back at some point. I can't have that too long, so I'll just break that right on there. You see it right there, very deep. Got a really sharp, got a new blade in there, so it's moving through the hair quite effortlessly. And again, when you see people cutting hair with a razor and it looks like, you know, they're struggling, I want to take the razor away from them, you know, because it's kind of dangerous, you know. I understand you have to learn, but you know, there's ways to learn, and there's time to learn, and there's classes to learn. That's where to do it. Don't do it on your clients, you know, because it's unfair, and you know, until you look amazing, just wait. So I dropped this last section over, going short to long with my the depth of where the razor's gone in to the length of hair. So I've got a lot of different lengths going on here, but they're all coordinating together. You know, that's what the thing is, that they're all blending at some point, because there is a common length underneath of where all the short pieces are that allow the long pieces to be quite comfortable sitting on top. So back to that that nice section right at the curve of the head. Starting to take shape. He's starting to look a little bit more serious now, which is good. And there you go. Sigh of relief there. Get to the other side. Do exactly the same. Well, that's impossible. What you do the same is your sectioning is the same, but you know the amount in the section or the line of the section, you know, coming from the curve of the head to above the ear, that's kind of always similar or close enough. But everything else is different. You know, we have to cut hair. Each side's different. Each section's different. If we're going to get exciting hairdressing, and be excited about cutting hair, because we have to be present. You know, it's not just, here we go, I'm on the other side doing the same thing, this is so boring, I want to die. No way, that's not going to happen with us. So prepped him, taking that section right above it, and if we work from the front, I'm actually coming from the back on this one, so a little bit more comfortable. We cut that short piece that is going to allow the hair to move back over the ear, and without a lot of bulk moving into the back. Because that's the thing, when you push hair around, if it's not got the right lengths, it's going to end up with these sort of bananas that sit behind the ear and stuff, and not pretty, except on Carmen Miranda. So anyway, back in. It's gone really good. This is very cool to watch as well. It's like I can hear my brain thinking from here, you know, and it's just computing, brushing that side. That's that short bit right above the sideburn, cutting the sideburn. You know, we're roughing it out, and it's really starting to take shape. Adjusting, and then we're going to look at that corner, and there you go, you can see where it is, and you can see the movement. His hairline on this side is like psychopath, it's like all over the place, so if I have to undercut it, I'm going to do that, but I've got enough control and enough weight, and I saw that with the consultation, that I can get it, you know. And obviously you can do a consultation, you know, you wash the hair, wet it down, things are going to react a bit different, because you don't know sometimes, you know, what they've been doing to the hair before they come in. Alright, so here we go. And, you know, movement, I'm moving good. I've got the razor, just getting in that zone, you know, just, I guess it's like being a runner or something. I've never really ran except from away from people. That's not true. But you know, there's a zone that we get in where it's just everything's moving nicely together, and the prep's done properly. I mean, not the prep, but your consultations really giving you the information to allow you to move quite quickly, quite freely. You know, I'm using the flat of the blades here, just taking out that weight, because I do have the corner built up now. So I just have to make sure that it doesn't have too much bulk. I don't want like a flip out in the back. You know, I need it to sit quite cleanly into the back, and not, you know, it's not a short back and sides. It's like it's kind of like a weird mullet, and it's just because of the lengths we're leaving that actually makes it look, not that mullets aren't cool, but and the right person, they're amazing, but here it's really about making sure that when he combs his hair, when he washes it, it's the same thing, you know, there's no surprises after leaving the salon. This, I'm taking the razor quite short. I think we're about 1.5 to 2 inches, and then a bit longer through the front. That's that section that supports the top. It disconnects from that side panel, which is longer, but because of the way that I've cut in the lens, it's going to have that blend, and you'll see that. Now we'll just drop down the top over it, and you know, I think people would freak out if they picked up this haircut and tried to measure it and see if it blends. You know, all I would ask of anybody who checks my haircuts is to comb it and put some product on it and see if it works, because that's the way I do it, you know. And it's not because I want to be different, it's because it's the way I need to cut hair. So if you need to cut hair your way, take what you need from this, and or if you don't need nothing, that's fair enough, but there's things in here that really work. You just saw that kind of nice corner there. Now what I have to do is take that center down, because it's he had that bob thing, so I have to reduce the weight, keep the length, and starting off by just taking off all that little fluffy stuff. But we'll go in here, use the flat of the blade, and work center out to the side. So I'll give my hand here. And just freehanding off any of that extra. So just now we're working center to the outside, then taking the flat, so we cut into it and then we took the weight out. So two things at once. He's got a lot of hair, remember, so same here. Center out to the weight, or the corner. And it's working. So take the weight, and this section is going to be about really weight removal and a lot of it, but leaving enough separation and enough weight in the sections you do leave that it's got that movement. You know, it's not just going to blow away with the first wind, you know, because it's so wispy and overcut. You know, there has to be a lot of strength, because when you're, you know, it's a classic haircut, or the illusion of a classic haircut, so it can't be, you know, just overcut, you know, and over thinned. I don't want the razor to have people react and say, oh, my hair's too thin. You know, the razor is a great tool if it's used properly, and that's what we're trying to do, is show you really extensions of how haircuts can have a different kind of look by being able to disconnect. Still going through here and really just removing the weight. Didn't need anything there. Check this one, take the middle out. You can see it already, it just pushes back. I mean, it just, that's what it's all about. Here we'll just check with that top piece, do a little bit of a blend by taking the middle out. Alright, let's get to, there you go. That's pretty cool. I mean, his hair was like a bob, you know, that his mum had cut. Now it's got style. It moves, you know, and all those lengths are, you know, that's movement. So we'll just cut in a bit of a line using the front of the blade. You can see where I've left that corner. Now I need to match the middle with the outside. Just got to dampen it down a little bit. There's nothing worse than when the blade sort of like stalls in the hair, because it's too dry. It feels awkward. It sounds awkward. The clients like feel as though you're using a rusty old blade. So when you have to, you use a good blade or a brand new one. And here This haircut probably double this blade, he's got so much hair. So make sure I got that. There you go. You can see it really good here. So working out to that imaginary corner that I'm building up. And it's really going to expose itself by me reducing all of this hair. And by the movement that we create, we'll give the illusion of the squareness in the back. This is all real time. We've not, you know, we did rewind a little bit, but this is me cutting hair at the speed that I would do in a salon. So you get to see this. There's no cuts, no edits. You know, we were going to edit through, but it's just exciting to watch, you know. So, well, it is for me. I hope it is for you. And if it's not, then why don't you do a haircut and send it to me? Just joking. Anyway, moving on again. Actually, I would love to have people send me haircuts for nothing else and just see, and you know, how do you take this stuff, and it's actually a project we're going to be working with R+Co, making films and tons of stuff. Anyway, let's get back to the boy here. We've got 2 or 3 more sections, in, deep, deep, and big long lengths, you know, and by cutting them in, you get the separation. It looks like you've got products in the hair when I put my hands through it. It looks like there's grease or something in it, but that's just the lengths. If I cut his hair shorter, I would end up with like a hedgehog or something, you know, and I mean cutting it shorter into sort of a traditional layer, it would just, I just wouldn't feel I could get the same movement, you know, the ease that the haircut sort of seems to pull with it. So squaring that off, and we're about 3/4 of the way through the haircut, you know, and now it's just a matter of controlling these lines. My shape's in there, you know, well under control. Got the driving seat. Now I just gotta put all these bits together. You see those long bits right through the side, you know, that's my overcut. And you know, right here I can tuck this away. There is the corner, but you see that weight? Gotta go. And then, you know, we're pushing into the shape and adjusting. There you go. Here's the Yakuza. Later we'll show you the manga, and just weight here. You know, it's just the weight I'm taking out, not the length. Need the length. So, you know, and it's fantastic when you've got references in your head for years and years and years of, for me, manga, Yakuza, that you can pull it all together and more. And but you wait for the right one. You know, when he walked in, it was like, oh yeah, that's the right person. You know, I've done this haircut many times, but it's always come out different because the texture was different, you know. So, and not saying they were bad, but when everything lines up, amazing. All right, what we need to do now is blend this top piece in, because we've been dropping it down and overcutting all those lengths, but it's way too long if I'm going to push it back. Even if I was just doing, you know, like a nice sort of side parting, way too long. So I have to get a bit of a blend there, and we'll just out of frame a little bit, but you'll see as I move forward. Now I'm just really I'm pushing the hair around looking for weight, because it's quite apparent, you know, when we've cut into the hair that much, you know, we can get control. The hair will do things, as you see, I'll push it and it stays there. But if there's too much weight, it just falls right through a section and it becomes very apparent. So that's where you have to use your eye and just visual, not even like aesthetically, just like see if anything's just not moving well, and just come to the front. Alright, now the proof's in the pudding. I got to move this hair around and see if I'm getting everything and more that I put into this haircut. There's a lot of different lengths in here, and it's what's making it fantastic. There is a mirror he's looking in, so he's kind of checking himself out. He's probably going to do a selfie any minute. Just found a little bit there, razor, gone. And it looks very aggressive, but it's very well thought out. I don't know what I just said there, but he made a face. I think he's something about how good it looks. So, check that out. Pushing it around. Then we need to start to think about getting products on. And look, it just went from kind of nutso to quite conservative, but with style. You know, that I think, you know, my idea to keep that long back was great because, you know, normally you'd go with a short back, try and keep it, but because the length of the sides were quite long, if I cut the back short, it would have just been a kind of weird bob thing. So I didn't want that. Here we're going in, you know, this is just shampoo and one. It's the only products in it, so. Yeah, so use my hands, checking the haircut, placing it, palms, fingers. Really good. It looks amazing. So let's redamp it because we're going to put some products in. And the thing is, you know, when you use products, knowing then going in that, you know, the products you're going to use might be a little bit stronger, so just dampen the hair down. You know, prep for what you're going to do, and understanding the products, understanding their strengths is so important. What they do on their own, what they do together, that's key. You know, like I wouldn't have Garen or Tom go on set with, you know, products with no names on them. You know, that wouldn't work. They know what they use. They know what it's kind of funny. We're using the styling cream, the jackpot. So we're using the jackpot and a little bit of one in there so that I can start to comb the hair. I need to get a few different looks out of this, so that was why I used the one before. I don't know who. I guess he's talking to Amanda. They're not supposed to talk, but anyway, he was a good kid. They're just normal. But look, right there, that's it. That's the look. You know, it's give him a cigarette and he could be in, you know, a Wong Kar-wai movie. And it's just brilliant. I mean, he went from, do you remember what he was like before? We'll show you again. But he had that cute little 12-year-old haircut, you know. All those lengths. Fantastic. Good stuff. Gives it some height. Remember those short bits we cut right on the curve of the head at the partings. They're supporting all that length. I mean, the length on top's like between 9 and 11 inches. So it needs a lot of work. I mean, his hair naturally will sit up off the head. So, you know, just be careful you don't cut it too short, or else you'll end up with spikes that will interfere when you're doing anything that's quite slick. Here we go, we're just pushing, just combing the product into the hair and exploring the haircut. I've always got a visual in my head from a consultation of what I think and try and get the haircut towards. You know, there's always little variations, but you know, at this point in my career, I can pretty much get there. You know, I don't even mind using real visuals, you know, like magazines or images like that. But I always picture these, have these images in my head that I work towards. Just wetting down a little bit here. You know, when it comes to it, you know, you're like, yes, that's the one. That's what I was thinking of, and more, because there's also something happens where makeover, the face changes, the attitude changes, and that's something I can't explain, and it's wonderful to see it happen. You know, people in 25, 30 minutes will change their character. I've seen people get up out of the chair and walk different. You know, it's unbelievable, and it's something we should do a case study on someday as a group. But it's fantastic when just a haircut will just change someone's attitude. And I always remember Kenneth Patel when he said, you know, it's just a hairstyle. It's just a shampoo away from being back to nothing. And he actually said he was a shampoo away from being nothing. So respect to that guy. He was amazing. And I can speak for all of us when we talk about some of these classic hairdressers who influenced all of us and still do, because their work ethic was fantastic, and their creativity that followed, and you know, ability to control hair and ultimately make people look amazing was just very special. So, you know, we want to do that for people who follow us too. You know, give them the access to all of the work that we do, what we like, the people we like. You know, we have no secrets. We have nothing to hide. You know, we're not a two-trick pony. Is that the right word? Oh, a one-trick pony. We're not a half a trick pony. All right, so look, back to the haircut here. Sorry, I'm getting away from it. But pushing it up, getting it kind of spiky. I'm going to do his hair quite spiky later, like a wolf or something. And getting the product into the hair, blow drying. It's all about control, you know, getting a little bit of curve in there. You know, I could do a little bit of an Elvis as well. I always remember Mystery Train. That was that great film. I think Jim Jarmusch did, and it was about two Japanese kids who are going to Nashville or Tennessee, wherever Elvis is buried, and fantastic film. But it's this little rocker guy. But even just watching this, the control with the products, the haircut, you know, might be a bit heavy there, but I don't know. I think I'm getting away with it. I love that sort of, not fluffy, but that edge. That's the manga sort of coming together. You know, and I said before, manga and Yakuza. Obviously traditional, you know, businessman, because I want my haircuts to go from super conservative to absolutely mental, and no matter what kind of hair it is, you know, long, short, medium, that's my success, is the variance in the textures you can create, the looks, that's success. And I used to fear it as commerciality, but I would rather see, you know, 100 of my haircuts coming out the subway than, you know, one in a blue moon walking down the street, or, you know, hiding in her apartment because their hair's so mental. But little bend there in the front, and that's all product. That's product right there. That's what it does, and it does it really good, and over and over and over again. And that's why you trust your products, you trust your technique, you're unstoppable. And that's fun. And it's not having a big ego, it's being able to tackle and accomplish whatever you want. That's a real success for us, and that was kind of cool. It was like a Wolfman, Wolf Boy. I think Michael J. Fox was in that one. A lot of movie references here, but that's a lot of what I do. References are so important. You know, a lot of people sort of say they're garbage and all that, but building references in your head by just knowing, looking at things, you know, I call it mental paperwork, things that you store, and when somebody comes in, walks along the street, you see, you start to associate and then say, oh yeah, you're perfect for this, you know, and it's not a cop out, you know, and it's not every time either, because sometimes people come in, it's just there's something so original that, you know, you get to do that is just beautiful. But here I definitely had a reference, and I was going all the way with it because it's kind of, you know, a personal goal of mine to do these kind of looks and to get these textures and being able to give you the information in my head of why I'm doing it, and then why are you doing it, you know, why are you not doing it, why are you using the products, because they're good. Alright, so we did spot a few things here, a couple of loony bits hanging out, quite delicately take that off, and I used the blade in 3 different areas because I didn't want just a blunt part there, because it's the outline and it needs to have that separation and match the rest of the shape, or the shattered shape. So tucking it all back, and then I've got control of the hair, I've got a good texture. What I need to do now is just see if all of those bits work, and let's get the brush in it. I think a lot of people have a fear of brushing hair because, you know, if they're setting it or something, they fear that they'll brush it out, and they should be. If you're scared of brushing hair because you did a bad set, then, you know, get better at setting hair. You know, prep things properly, that when you need to brush it, comb it, squeeze it, scrunch it, it's all there. Because especially in the studio, you know, and you know, the salon's just as important. You know, you can't go halfway. You know, you have to have the preparation done. You need to be in control of the hair, because at that point there might be 10 people watching you, you know, and or there might be just one who's the person who's paying you for it, and you gotta be showing your wares right there. You know, you can't sort of just be half-assed. Back to the beard brush, favourite little brush of mine, because it just grabs that hair, you know, and does a great job. I've never tried it on my beard, but I'm sure it's great, because it is a beard brush from Germany. So just giving them a bit of a kind of blowback, push back, sort of very nothing, and then we can start to go in and push it around your fingers. There you go, hair's starting to flop, styling, you know, and you might say, oh yeah, big deal, you know, he's on a set, he's going to take pictures, you know, we're in a salon. I don't really, I think that's a cop-out, you know. I think anybody in a salon should have the attention, you know, showing them 2 or 3 ways how to wear their hair, knowing how they wear their hair, you know, and then, you know, maybe even one style, invite them back for another service in a couple of weeks, see how it's gone. You know, we have to engage and ensure that, you know, we are in control. and that just totally fell apart there, which was great. The products are working good because I got hold when I want it to hold. When I push it, I can push it. That's pretty good, you know, because a lot of products is they're either hold or they're nothing, you know. And for us, we need both flexible, strength, malleable, you know. So Jackpot did well, got me a few textures now. Continental is going to take me home on this one. Going through it, I love to put the Continental all the way through my hands, rub it in through my fingertips and use them like a comb and just push it back, push it around. But getting the product into the hair, because here comes the jacuzzi part. You know, we did the manga, we did the nice guy on the street, business guy, but this is my guy. This is the killer. I mean, he's a nice guy though. So you can see already control. You know, Continental looks like a wax, acts like a wax, but it's not a wax. And the secrets of it are yours to discover. You know, we'll tell you a few things, but that's the beauty of all of our products. There's so many great things that you're going to enjoy with this stuff. And we've had a blast just even in the past sort of 9 months with them. So I look forward to experimenting a bit more, but fantastic. That's exactly what I need to do, and then get him with a brush. I think I just hit him in the face there. Do a little bit of a parting. We'll show you some stills of this, but yeah. I'm very happy with this haircut, and I know he was as well, because he left his phone at the studio and went out, and I think 3 or 4 girls asked him, you know, who cut his hair, so he loved that. He didn't say it was me though. That was a good thing. So, enjoy. We're going to finish up with some stills, and thanks very much. That was Jate.